Good morning, Fort McMurray, Wood Buffalo, and the rest of the world. You've tuned in to the Mac City Morning Show. I am your host, Elliot Pierre, and we're going to start the show off on the same note we start every show off, with a moment of gratitude. I know you could be doing a million other things with your time, so the fact that you're spending with us truly does mean the world to me, so thank you. On that note, Tanner, hit him with the intro.
How's she cotton, me loves? You're listening to the Mac City Morning Show.
All right, we're back. Okay, today, banger of an episode, my favorite type of guest. I have no idea who this individual is. Not only do I not know who he is, I don't even know his name. So, as per usual, I don't introduce my guests. Couldn't even do it if I wanted to today because they could do a better job at it than I. So, on that note, sir, can you please tell everybody at home who you are?
Yeah, I guess I'm your average guy. I'm just Nick Kemp,
Okay.
Just kind of got here. Definitely not from here, but seems like a great place so far, not gonna lie.
There we go. So, Nick, you work at OJ's.
That's correct.
That's how Tanner met you. We were down there having some adult beverages one night,
Yes.
and you and Tanner got a talking.
Yes. Yeah.
Outside taking a smoke, I'm assuming.
Exactly how it happened.
And now you're on the show.
Yeah, it was very surprising, I must say.
Nice. Now, we had I'm assuming he's everybody's boss. He might not be your direct supervisor, but we had Gavin on the show a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
general manager, owner, whatever you want to call his title for OJ's here in Fort Mac.
Yep.
And you guys have a wager. What is this wager?
So we actually do. Yes, you would be correct. It's a $50 bet on me having more views than him.
Okay,
And I felt very confident with that.
there you go. So you have people like you're a younger guy. So
Yes.
you're on Facebook then?
No, actually, surprisingly, I'm not.
Okay.
Instagram, Snapchat, all on that, but
Okay.
I try to stay away from Facebook.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So what medium you're trying to get more views on? Like, because his views are primarily Facebook, right?
Yeah.
So is Facebook going to be how you judge?
Well, it could be. I would go any platform, really, because
Okay.
I watch a lot of YouTube, and a lot of
Right.
my friends watch YouTube, and
Okay.
they were actually asking about the show, and thanks to Tanner, he told me that it was on YouTube, and I found you guys, and
Yeah.
I followed you, and
Okay.
subscribed, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I'm
Okay.
gonna let them all know where to watch it. So
Okay. I like it. I like healthy competition.
yeah, exactly.
I like to gamble every now and then. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with it.
Just friendly, right?
Healthy wager, $50. You
Well,
can
not a
lose
big
that.
deal.
So you said at the beginning of the show you're not from Fort McMurray. So how long have you been here for?
Since March 1st.
Oh, so you're like brand new.
Yeah,
Oh, sweet.
yeah, completely.
Let's hear about it. Why are you here?
So I came up to help open up the OJs and train some of the new staff, and I won't even lie. I'll be 100% honest. I wanted nothing to do with coming here.
Yeah,
I
fair enough.
There's a stigma around Fort Mac that it's a dirty town and the people are not the best and all
Right.
this stuff. And within my first 2 weeks here, that was completely shattered. I was like, everyone is nothing but nice and generous and super kind, and I was just blown away.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's great. So where are you from though?
Well, so I actually move around a lot, but
Okay.
my hometown would be Provost.
Okay.
It's like on the border of Saskatchewan. It's a small town, 2,500 people.
I've been Provost before.
Have you really?
Yeah, man.
For what?
I used to be a recruiter back in the day. So like for over a decade I was in human resources. So early in my career I worked for a company called Eveready.
Okay.
They're clean harbors now. They do
Yeah,
water
yeah.
truck, vac truck, stuff like
Yeah.
that. So yeah, I used to fly and drive all around Canada and recruit people.
Wow.
And so I'd spend a lot of time in Saskatchewan, around the Provost area, PA, Yorkton, and I'd get farmers to come up basically because they can operate
Yeah.
all different types of vehicles.
Of
So they'd
course.
come up and do water trucks and vac trucks during the winter
Wow.
when they weren't farming. So yeah, I spent a lot of time in your neck of the woods.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I that's obviously where I grew up mostly. I was about 19 when I left, but I've moved around a lot since then.
Okay. And so why are you moving around?
Always for work.
Okay.
Always for work.
And you primarily work for OJ's?
No, I just
Okay. Yeah.
I just started.
Oh, okay. Cool. Okay.
Like-
Okay.
Like less than a year, to be honest.
Right. Okay. Neat.
Yeah, yeah. No, I used to work on back trucks too, so I know all about that and
Okay.
the lifestyle like that brings. It's hard.
It's a hard lifestyle, man, especially when you're working out at rig camps.
Oh,
You're away from your family, your
yeah.
friends.
drilling rigs are the worst. I remember my very first job on a vac truck was Christmas morning. They called me 2 a.m. Said pack a lunch. It's gonna be a long haul. I said okay. I didn't expect it to be 39 hours straight. Like,
Yeah.
just disgusting.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Yeah. You just get it done.
Yeah. Yeah, no
Just-
breaks. You don't get to sleep or anything. You're just working nonstop the whole time.
Yeah. And the season for those guys is so short, right? Because
Yeah.
it's like feast or famine.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you got to put those hours in because during like your summer months, you're not getting any money. So
Exactly.
those guys are built different.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
it for a few years and I don't miss it. I won't lie.
No, no doubt. I was working in the office. I was human resources, right? So I
Right.
was just recruiting. I was training, then I moved into recruiting, and I was telling the story a few days ago to one of our guests. I stayed in a rig camp just for the weekend
Yep.
because I was hiring guys, getting guys to fly here, leave their families. I
Right.
figured I should see what it's all about. Like
Yeah.
I've seen the pictures, I've heard the stories. I've been working for the company for a few years. I was like, I got to go stay in a rig camp over the weekend, not the camp that's in town,
Yeah, no, the actual camp.
the rig camp.
Yeah.
Whew. It's different, man.
It's crazy.
It's different. Like
Totally is.
it's bearable. You can do it, but I don't know how guys do it long term.
No.
You know what I mean? Like
I
a
have zero
season,
interest.
maybe. Okay, sure. But
Yeah.
I used to hire guys who literally that was their whole lives.
And they just loved it.
They
too.
love it.
I don't know.
They
Some people
love
do.
it. I had one guy who was a truck driver. He was a long haul truck driver that I
Yeah.
hired, and so long haul obviously very different. But
Completely, yeah.
he'd been doing it for his whole life, so he used to sleep in a sleeper berth
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
And so even when he worked with us, he had a camp room. He's like, "Yeah, I'm way more comfortable if I could just sleep in the truck." I'm like, "No, like you can't." But like this was a thing for him, and I have no doubt when like management was gone,
Yeah, that's where he was.
he was sleeping in that truck. He
Yeah.
never used his camp room.
You become like used to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not maybe not used to it, but you feel safe there,
That's right.
right?
Yeah,
You spend so
100%.
much time there.
Yeah.
It's weird when you're not there.
So how did you get into like? Because it's one of those industries where like, there's so many industries. Like if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
So when I usually talk about vac trucks and water trucks, people look at me like I'm a Martian, and I'm like, oh, and I describe it like, oh yeah. So how did you get involved in that industry?
So I had a friend of mine who somehow got into the industry, and I was working at an A&W at the time, and I was like, I was barely surviving, right?
Right,
And he's like, well, I'll get you a job. Like, you just have to move up to Grand Prairie. I said, done deal.
right.
Let's go now.
Okay,
And then I did some vac truck stuff there for a couple of years, and then I moved up to Beaver Lodge, did some more there. And yeah, it was crazy. Like I've worked in the oil field before when I was
Right.
younger, so I have experience in the oil field, but never on a vac truck before that day.
right.
I had never even seen a vac truck close up.
Yeah,
Couldn't believe how big they were.
it's
Like,
loud.
oh, it's so loud.
So loud.
It's ridiculous.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So now, working at A&W, saying like, yeah, you know what, this is not for me.
Yeah.
Fast food industry, I'm not making the money. I don't like the environment.
Yeah.
You're working in an oil rig now, doing
Yeah.
vac trucks. How do you transition? Because I read like I didn't read your name. I got to be honest. I just
That's fine.
I read guest, but it said line cook.
Yeah.
So that's all I knew. I was like, oh, we got a line cook coming
Yeah.
in. So how do you transition from I don't want to be at A&W to I work in the rigs and one of the hardest jobs environment wise there is to now being a line cook? How does that transition happen?
Honestly, a lot easier than you think.
Okay.
It comes down to quality of life. You know,
Mhm.
sure, I might have made a lot more money in the oil field, but you have no free time for anything.
No.
You're outside minus 50. Nobody really appreciates you.
Hmm.
And I've known Gavin for a little while, and he offered me a position. And I was like, yes, please.
Yeah.
I'll show you what I can do. And I think I have. I think he's happy with it, and I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel taken care of. I'm not outside freezing, and
Yeah.
it a great environment as well. It
Yeah.
really is.
Okay. So you started working not in the Fort Mac restaurant firm.
No.
There's where's the first place you started with them?
Sherwood Park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been to that OJ's in Sherwood Park.
Yeah, so I was
a
working
nice
there
one.
for a little while, but it was slow. Like the busy days we had there
Right.
are nothing compared to what happens here.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous.
It blows people's minds when they first come to Fort McMurray, especially when you work in like the service industry and stuff, how busy
Yeah.
it actually is. And I can assure you, what you're seeing now is nothing into comparison what it's like when it's not COVID.
Oh, I can only imagine.
It's nuts.
Servers would refer to this as slow.
Yeah. Extremely slow.
Which is nuts to
Yeah.
think about.
Like back in the day, especially during like the boom in the early to mid 2000s, Like to get in any restaurant, you'd have to wait like a half of an hour. Any restaurant.
Really?
And it was packed all the time. You wanted to go for dinner at 7 o'clock, you better be there at like 6.
Really?
Yeah.
Or make a reservation or something.
You couldn't make reservations. No
Wow.
restaurant back in the day would take reservations. You only take reservations if you need to.
Right.
If you're going to have a line, they're like, hey, can I make reservations? Like, we got a line. No.
Wow.
Click. So, yeah. And
That's incredible to think about because, like, what makes Fort Mac so much busier than another place? You know what I mean?
money.
I guess there is a lot of money here, eh?
That's the thing that people kind of, I think, globally don't think about, or people when they're considering moving to different places. Yes, the cost of living here is expensive. Not anymore. Like there's a new stat out there that
After
says
the flood, after the fire.
yeah,
You know
like
what I mean?
things have gone down, but the cost of living here used to be very expensive.
Right.
But for the most part, like it's still a small community,
Yeah.
and on average, most people do have a job somewhat connected to the oil sands.
Yeah.
So they're making a decent wage, and even if you don't work for the oil sands directly, maybe your significant other does. So
Right.
the
Yeah.
amount of liquid cash that you have, disposable cash,
Yeah.
you can spend.
Yeah.
Then the other component of that is most people are from somewhere else, like
Yeah.
yourself. Like
me exactly.
yeah, me and Tanner, we're born and raised here, but most people aren't. And so you want to go out, you want to be social, you want to meet people.
Yeah.
And so you got a little bit of walking around cash.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
You go into a restaurant or bar.
Well, and that's what
You're
blew
making
me
some
away about how Tanner and I met. I remember exactly how it happened. I was outside the side door having a cigarette. He peeks his head around the front corner, and he like went to walk around. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna make friends with you. And that blew me away. I was like, that doesn't happen anywhere.
Right.
And that comes back to what I was gonna bring up. Is you mentioned like the community. I've noticed the community here is very strong.
Yeah, man.
I've never really noticed a sense of community where in any of the places I've lived, and here it's been. It's like it almost slaps you in the face.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah. The only other place I've been that is this friendly is Newfoundland. If you ever have a chance to go to the East Coast,
I've worked with a few people, and that's all they say.
oh man, like Fort Mac is super friendly, but a lot of it has to do with a lot of the population here, especially like in the 70s and 80s,
Yeah.
were East Coasters.
I was
So
gonna say even now there's
yeah,
quite a few.
a lot of East Coasters.
Yeah.
Here. So, but yeah, Fort Mac really strong. Love it. That's everybody's from somewhere else,
Right.
basically. So they know what you're going through,
Right.
because they went through it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so it's like, oh, new person, probably having a rough time meeting people. Let me approach him and bring him in.
Yeah.
You know, so but yeah, when you go to the East Coast, man, oh, they'll literally take the shirt off their back for you.
That's
It's
insane to think
crazy.
about, yeah.
So
Well,
outside of the East Coast, I'll say Fort McMurray is one of the most friendliest places.
And if you were having trouble making friends before, you won't after this comes out.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
glad- I'm
exactly
really glad
it.
to hear that.
Yeah, we'll tag you. You get blown up. All right. We have a segment in the show. It's Tanner's segment. It's
Sure.
called the Mac City Minute.
Okay.
He's going to ask you a few quick questions. I have no idea what he's going to ask, so best of luck to you. Tanner, hit him with the Mac City Minute.
Question number 1. What has been the biggest shock coming to Fort McMurray?
Honestly, the kindness of the people.
There you go.
Question number 2. What's your favorite OJ's order?
Ooh, the dynamite tempura is incredible.
Any drink?
The blonde, the house lager blonde, fantastic.
Question number 3. Other than OJ's, what's your favorite Fort Mac food establishment?
Ooh, I honestly don't know if I've eaten it. I've eaten at the bar that's at my hotel and didn't compare. So sadly, I guess I'd have to say OJ's is still number 1.
That's not sadly. That's good.
I would agree, so. Question number 4. Why do you think you can get more views than Gavin?
Well, look at me compared to him. Come on, guys.
Question number 5. What is one interaction that stood out for you that changed how you see Fort McMurray?
That's an easy answer.
Yeah.
Meeting Tanner.
Yeah.
Simple.
There you go.
That stood out right away.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Those have been your 5 questions.
There you
Right
go.
on.
That's funny. Now, Tanner started the question. Some guests bring it up, some don't. We have alcohol on the set.
I see that.
What's your drink of choice outside of like the lager at work? Like if you're just drinking, what are you drinking?
I like beer. I like Canadian beer is really good, but if I'm going hard liquor, I do enjoy Jaeger and vodka. I'm a vodka guy. Honestly.
Okay.
Vodka water lime, vodka water Mio.
What are
Those
you
are
drinking with
delicious.
Jaeger? You just drinking it straight? Or you shooting it?
Straight.
Okay,
Yeah.
like you'll sip on Jaeger.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh, interesting.
Why not?
I've never met a sipper of Viagra before.
It's mostly shots, but I will just
Sip on
casually
it.
drink it.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
That's like me and tequila. Like
Oh, see, I can't do that.
I don't like to shoot tequila if I don't have to. I can suck it up. I can be
Yeah.
a big boy if I
Yeah,
need to.
Yeah.
But I would much rather if somebody just pours me some tequila on the rocks and just sip on
Casually,
that.
yeah.
Oh man, that's called a good night.
You're relaxing.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I'm not
That's
a
how
big.
you take, like, when you have a long day and you come home and you just sip on that. That's how you unwind.
Yeah, that's it. And
Right?
so Tanner's a young pup. He likes the shots. So we go
Yeah.
to the bar and he's like, "Come on, let's do shots." I'm like, "How about I just like drink on this?"
Yeah.
And then he's like, "No, man, do a shot." So
I'm
learned.
not about shots. I'm about efficiency.
Yeah,
Efficiency, hey,
efficiency.
that's hard to
I
argue.
can't argue with that one.
Yeah.
My thing about shots is like when I drink, I stick to what I'm drinking.
Yeah, that's the best
So
way
like
to do it.
I drink Jameson's 90% of the time.
Right.
So last time me and Tanner were at the bar, drinking Jameson's, and he's like, "Let's do a shot."
Sure.
And I was just like, "Well,
Okay.
I can do a shot, but make it Jameson's,
Right.
Because I want to remain consistent with what I'm shooting."
Yeah.
And so Tanner's just like,
But that's how people end up sick too, right? They're drinking beer and then they do a shot of this and they do another drink of something else. It's like, no, just stick with one thing.
"That's right.
Right?
That's exactly it." Yeah.
It's a pretty common thing. I at least I thought people knew that.
Right.
That's how you get sick is by mixing.
Yeah, just don't mix.
No, you don't
For all the
wanna
kids
do
at home.
Yeah, for all the kids, kids at home.
Just
Yeah,
don't mix. And drink responsibly.
of course.
Don't mix.
Yeah.
So I think that's it, man. Tanner, we hit the 20-minute mark.
Nope.
No, we got more time?
We got more time.
Sweet. Okay, let's talk about music.
I love music.
Okay, good. What kind of music do you like?
Honestly, everything except country. Sorry, country fans.
I used to be like that as well. However, it's just something that I said, and I didn't know why I said it. Over the last few years, I've given country a bit of a try, and there is some good country out there. I'm not saying I bang to it all the time.
I can deal with the old school country that
Yeah.
my mom used to listen to.
Who's this?
Oh God, I couldn't like maybe old school Tim McGraw
Okay.
and whoever did that song called Mr. Mom, like and Big and Rich, I guess I can deal with.
Okay.
But like,
The new poppy stuff you're not
no,
into.
and I'll never. It's not on my phone. I have a
Right.
bunch of music. I would never play it by choice.
Okay.
But if some of those older songs come on, I can deal with
Yeah.
it.
Like I just saw a documentary on Dolly Parton just a few weeks ago on Netflix.
Yeah,
So I started listening to some Dolly Parton stuff. I'm like,
it's not bad.
this is not bad. I could get down with this. Like, it's just nice subject matter that you're like, okay, this is chill. But yeah,
Right.
for years I was like yourself. I
But
was
it's
like,
funny that you brought up subject matter because
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of metal and heavier music,
Oh,
and
okay.
people think it's all just about like violence and all this stuff.
right.
I would strongly disagree. Most
Okay.
of my music is lyrically driven, and a lot of my metal has very important messages.
I
Yeah.
would argue that metal and punk music has a more positive message than country.
I would agree, without a doubt. Did you know
Really?
most people who commit suicide listening to music listen to country before they do it?
I would say that's a legitimate stat.
Also, suicide rates. They did a study with radio stations, and suicide rates were higher within cities with more country radio stations than.
Without a doubt.
yeah,
with
because a lot of country songs are sad.
Depressing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Super depressing.
My
Now
dog
if-
died. My wife left me. My truck's broke.
That's right. That's right. That's what it is with
Yeah.
a nice melody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to be honest. Like, I haven't listened to lots of rock and or heavy metal. Like, if it's in the background, I have no beef with it.
Right.
It's just not something I've listened to. So
Just fine.
you have to have an ear for it. In regards
Yeah.
to like when I listen to it, I can't hear what they're saying.
Don't get me wrong. I was that way for a few years
Yeah.
too. I liked the music, but the vocals were hard to get
Yeah,
like to enjoy. But as
Once
as
you
I
listen
listen
to
to it, yeah, and then I can understand them, and it's
yeah.
it's
It's
really great.
It's like my mom, for example, like with rap music. I love
Yeah,
rap music.
yeah, yeah.
And my mom, for years, like I'd listen to it, all she's hearing is the curse words every
course.
once in a while.
Yeah.
And she's like, this music's filthy, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, no, it's actually really good if you listen to the lyrics, Mom.
Yeah.
But she couldn't. So, like, one day, like, one of my buddies is a rapper. And she's like, oh, my God, little Marty, look at him. And then, like, he's rapping. She's like, oh, my God, this is horrendous. I'm like, no, listen to it,
Listen,
though.
yeah.
And so, like, I wrote down the lyrics for her. And I,
Yeah.
like, said, okay, this is what he's saying. And she's like, oh, that's so nice. I'm
Yeah.
like, once you take out the MFs,
Yeah, right.
it's like, it's tolerable, Mom. But it blew my mind. She couldn't hear it. I'm like, you're not hearing what he's saying?
Yeah.
Like, certain music, you have
I
to
think
have
a
the ear
lot of
for.
people go through something like that with
Yeah.
music that they don't prefer to listen to, they only hear the stuff that they don't like.
That's right.
Right?
You just hear the swears and stuff.
Yeah.
Another guy that recently, and I'm an old man, so this guy was popping when I was young, is Marilyn Manson.
Oh, I still listen to him.
So I never messed with Marilyn Manson at the time, like especially when he was like
Going
doing
through
it up
that
big.
thing.
There was like rappers were like hot. Rap music was hot back then.
Yeah.
That was like the genre. Even Eminem was out at the same time as Marilyn
Oh,
Manson.
hard to compete.
So it was a no-brainer not to listen to Marilyn Manson,
Right.
and the shock value I wasn't into. I've been listening to some Marilyn Manson lately.
Good.
Like it's really good.
Really good.
It's really, really
And
good
he's
stuff.
got like the ideals that made like the lyrics that he writes about and the points and subject matter is
Right.
once you know what they're saying is
It's not that bad.
no,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's kind of like the show South Park. You ever
I
watch
love
South Park?
South Park.
Oh man, it's one of my favorite shows to watch. And most people are like, oh, it's so gross, it's so vulgar. I'm just like, no, it actually is really message driven.
Politically driven as well.
Yeah.
And that's how they stay so relevant is
Yeah.
because every episode that airs, they create 1 week before
That's
it
right.
airs. So that's
That's
how
right.
they're so up to date with everything.
So on point. And
That's
it's-
why it's so roughly designed. Like
yeah,
it's-
that's why
Yeah.
it
like-
looks like how it looks, right?
it's
right.
it's literally one draft. They just do it.
Yeah,
right.
it's incredible.
Yeah, they're incredible and like they're smart.
Very.
If you just get over Carmen's voice
Yeah, yeah.
and like the swearing, like it's a very smart show.
Have either of you guys seen Basketball?
Oh yeah.
So that's Matt Stone and Trey
Oh,
Parker
yeah.
there. Yeah. And that's a
Base-
fantastic
That's
movie.
a cult classic.
Yeah. I want to create a team and actually play it. It looks fun.
That is
That has Charlie Sheen in it, doesn't it?
I honestly
don't
can't
know.
remember.
Anyways, I have the DVD. I have the DVD, Tanner. I'll bring it in. That's how old I have that.
I think I
DVD.
have the DVD to be
That
honest.
is a great movie. Another
yeah.
one is in the same kind of genre, newer. Is have you seen? Come on, it's the guys who made Super Troopers, Beer Fest.
Yep, Beer Fest.
Oh,
Beer Fest.
Beer Fest is a great.
Yeah,
movie.
it really is good.
Yeah, but yeah, Basketball. That's a classic. Very smart movie. Like
It is.
me and the boys used to try to play it. The rules are pretty hard. when
Yeah.
you try to play it, like it gets kind of complicated.
It's definitely like murky. The
Yeah.
rules are hard to
Yeah.
understand and follow.
Good show. Another
so
one
good.
which like you got to be in the mood for it. The same guys made it is Team America.
Yeah, that's pretty vulgar though.
Yeah,
That one's in your face.
Yeah, they don't mess around. But from a political satire, you're just like, hey,
Yeah, but that's what they're good at that.
yeah, they're good at it. So
They call them out. They call the politicians out,
Yeah.
you know, and somebody needs to do it.
there we go. And they
Right?
do it with humor, so you pay attention
Yeah,
to it.
exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
So my man, that's it. I know we went over 20 minutes now.
22.
So, 22.
Nice.
There we go. So before we cut you loose, everybody gets a shameless shout out. So you could shout yourself out, where you work, what you do, who you are. You want to make some friends, whatever you want.
I got one shout out. That's to my cat Bubbles.
There you go.
He's the best. I love my cat.
There we go. All right. Well, Fort McMurray, Wood Buffalo, and the rest of the world, thank you for tuning in today. This has been one of my favorite episodes, so I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope the numbers are better than Gavin's, and you win
Yeah.
the bet.
Gotta be.
Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
I said this. That's another Mac City Morning Show done.
It's so ballistic!
Talk about quenching your ugly thirst.